Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Superintendents Unplugged, In Depth with Davis, the podcast where we'll dive deep into the world of educational leadership. I'm your host, Addison Davis, and I'm thrilled to have you join me as we embark on the inspiring journey together. As a superintendent once myself, I understand the challenges and complexities that come with leading a school district. But what I've come to realize is that there's abundance of amazing work being done by superintendents all across our country. This podcast is a platform to shine a spotlight on their incredible accomplishments and innovative approaches. Each episode will bring you exclusive interviews and superintendents from various districts across our country, both big and small, urban and rural, as they share their personal stories, triumphs, and even their moments of vulnerability. We will explore the strategies they employ to tackle the ever-evolving landscape of education, from fostering equity and inclusivity to embracing technology and preparing students for their future. But this podcast isn't just about showcasing success. It's about fostering a community of educational leaders who can learn from one another, share their experiences, and collectively navigate the complexities of our role. We'll discuss the tough topics as well, the difficult decisions, and the innovative solutions that are transforming education for the better. So while you're an educator, a parent, a student, or simply someone who's passionate about education, this podcast is for you. Superintendents Unplugged is your behind-the-scenes pass to the world of educational leadership, where we uncover the stories that inspire, motivate, and empower every one of us. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and entertained as we embark on this incredible journey together. I can't wait to introduce you to the remarkable superintendents who are changing the educational landscape one district at a time. Welcome to another episode of Superintendents Unplugged, In Depth with Davis. I'm your host, Addison Davis, and we're here in Dallas, Texas, the 68th Annual Council of Great City Schools Conference, bringing the best, brightest leaders, board members, and educators together to identify trends and patterns, to find out what's working, what's not, and what we can do differently. And today we have our very own Dr. Tonja M. Thank you so very much from Buffalo Public Schools. Buffalo. Thank you so very much for being here. Long way from home.
I hear the Cowboys down here or something big, but
nothing.
Bills, go Bills.
Nothing like that Bills Mafia, right?
Nothing like it.
I gotta say, one of my bucket lists is to go to Buffalo and watch.
You got to do it.
But they're playing the Dolphins coming up in November, and I'm from Florida.
That's a big game.
One thing I say it could be a mistake is going to the Bills Mafia wearing a Dolphin shirt.
You don't want to do that. No, you don't want to do that.
I see them flipping on tables, setting each other on fire.
Yeah,
it's crazy. How do you deal with that in the community?
It's
the community
crazy. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but we all come together and we're supporting each other, and we just try to motivate and keep our Bills lifted up. So, they won last week. Shout out Bills,
Big game against the Jets.
That's right. We better win again. Because that Mafia doesn't play.
Yeah. So talking about winning, you didn't come here in isolation. You brought team members. I got a chance to engage with Tammy. Tammy was here a minute ago. She's gone now. But
Tammy is working. Tammy is working.
Tammy
this
looked
is
at me
not
and
just a conference.
She told me point blank, she's here to recruit.
That's right.
So
we're always looking for good talent.
There you
always.
go. So here to hire first round draft picks. She ain't messing around.
I have a team that is here with me, and we are always recruiting because our children deserve it. Our district deserves it. So we're always looking for the best and the brightest.
There you go. So here you are. You're listening and watching. Buffalo's got a place for you. Great leader, doing cool things. So your story's unique. 35 years in education. The superintendent of Buffalo Public Schools. But you were a student in this school district.
Right.
Did you ever think that you would transition up to be a superintendent?
Never. But, it is an unusual story to have gone through a district from kindergarten through 12th grade to graduate from the district.
Wow.
And now to be leading the district. It is truly remarkable. I'm a hometown girl.
Hometown hero.
And hometown hero, So the good thing is, you know everybody.
That's
I know
right.
everyone from the clerical staff, the cafeteria, everyone.
Yeah.
the challenge is you know everybody. so it's good. It's good.
I think there's beauty in having those relationships, right? And I'm certain when you go to the grocery store or when you're out shopping, they know who Tonja is.
That's
and it's game on.
The thing about it is when you are a hometown girl, if you say something, you really have to be about it.
There you go.
You got to walk the walk and talk the talk. Because if you're at the hair salon or at the supermarket, you'll be held accountable for what you said you do. So, I'm real serious about making sure that, whatever my initiatives are, whatever I say I want for our children and we're doing it.
I hear nothing, I'm Florida-based, but I do national work. I heard nothing but great things about what's going on in your leadership and your team.
Oh, wow.
What is it, since taking over as a superintendent, what have been some of the greatest successes that you've had while leading this work?
The greatest successes really are the outcomes that we're getting for students, because that's where the rubber hits the road.
Yes, it does.
But, when I was first appointed as an interim superintendent, one of the things that we did that was a little different, we had no plan. Sure. We had no plan of action. And so I went out to the community, I went to churches, I went to community centers, thinking no one would be there. And the rooms were filled because folks just wanted to be heard. They wanted their voices to be heard. And I just wanted to hear from them what their hopes and dreams were for the students in the city of Buffalo. I've got a very smart cabinet. We could have sat and just decided on our own what we thought, was necessary. But I wanted a community-inspired strategic plan. And that's exactly what we have. And we call it our 5 by 2025, and we've got 5 initiatives and we have stuck to those 5 and we are beginning to see outcomes for children.
Love it. It's great. What are some of those highlights of those 5? Like, what are some of those areas like, we are doubling down in Buffalo. This is what we're doing for children to be able to give them a sense of hope.
Well, the 5 things. The first is closing opportunity discrepancies, building opportunity gaps for children. So I want very, very seriously all of our 3rd grade children to leave 3rd grade reading proficiently.
Love it.
And we are already beginning to see gains in that area. So that was number 1. All parents, didn't matter what socioeconomic status, zip code, or anything like that they lived in, they expect that their children will leave 3rd grade reading because we know they soar from there. The second thing was excellence in all classrooms every day. Doesn't matter which neighborhood the school is in. We've got 60 schools, 30,000 students. All of our parents expect that every day we're putting forth the best that we can for all of their children. The third thing was safety and security.
Love it.
Across our nation, I want my children safe every day and I want my staff safe every day. So that's a big one. Emotionally safe and physically safe. The fourth was cultivating community voice, lifting community voice, getting our student voice more involved. And we've been doing that. And the fifth was just expanding partnerships. We've got some partners that we've had for a very long time, but we weren't really measuring the outcomes. Were they aligned to what we were trying to do? So those are the 5, and we're doing it. And, I'm happy to say I've got a board that is supporting the work that we're doing.
Means everything, doesn't it, Doc?
That means everything.
That's awesome.
Everything. So I've got a great cabinet, my parents and the best, our students,
That's awesome. So we talk about equity, we talk about safety. It's a great sport. We see so many, horrific acts that take place across the nation, and giving our children that psychological safe place every single day. I think you're spot on it, but also being able to be analytically driven and involved in the community. It sounds like the community not only knows you, but gives you a sense of trust, cares about you. And then you also talked about your cabinet. We talk about cabinet. For me, I think it's one of the most important things that we can do is hire first round draft picks. And, whether you're always looking to hire the best. You're here at the national conference, not only to listen and learn, but to hire. I mean, what's the importance of for those who are watching, the importance of having the right people in cabinet positions? Talk about how, that comes about. I mean, are these people that you knew going into the system or outside of the system to build?
Some, as a principal, one of the things that I knew in order to move my school, I had to have the right fit. I had to have people who really are vested in children who will do more with less, because the reality is,
you said it well.
They will do more.
It's
they
education.
will do more with less. The job is tough.
It is tough.
And being in education is really, really, really tough in today's times. Yeah. Because our children present with such need.
That's right.
They've been traumatized. They've gone through a lot over the last few years.
That's right.
And so I need soldiers. I need people who really, are willing to go the extra mile for the children, who believe, have high expectations that all children, because, I wasn't born into wealth.
Sure.
So it took people, because my parents had not gone to college, but they knew they wanted me to go. And so it took people to help me navigate that system of how to get there. And I need people like that believe in, the brilliance of all of our children, regardless of race or gender or, if they've been classified with a disability, that they can achieve and that they can graduate from high school as productive citizens to do whatever it is they want to do, whether it's college, career, whatever it is.
Yeah, our military workforce,
military,
so refreshing.
Absolutely.
Our job is to make certain that we give them a sense of care every day and allow them to have stackable credentials, whether it be workforce credentials, acceleration courses, to have a merge of those so they can be successful in this process.
That's right.
As you look for, 25 and beyond, anything on the forecast for Buffalo as you look to accelerate learning?
Continuing the achievement is big. Literacy is really, really big for me. We, like most other districts, if I'm being transparent, disproportionality of the children who are often suspended from school or, have chronic absenteeism, are often our Black and brown children, boys, mostly young men. And so we've got to figure out, and attendance is something that all of us have to own. It can't just be the principal. It can't just be the superintendent. We've got to work with our parents and community. So, for me, literacy is going to be big. That safety and security continues to evolve. I'm always looking for more, with respect to that, and attendance. Kids got to be in school in order to learn.
Yes, one of the trends that I see is chronic absenteeism across this nation. It just echoes everywhere. I think that, Doc, and you being in education for 35 years, leading through COVID was unique for all of us. But it also gave a different lens to where students coming to school, not coming to school, us being great, leading with grace and giving some grace to students who can't come. But I think it also created some separation and spike in students missing school. It is so important for us to double down on attendance, figure out the causation, put wraparound services, look at school psychologists, leverage social workers.
That's right.
Leverage social workers to figure out how we can not only develop the whole child, but develop the whole family.
That's right. And, it doesn't need to be punitive.
That's right.
It doesn't need to be punitive. I'm a restorative person. I'm a trained counselor.
There you go.
I'm a trained counselor.
I think I heard that in your voice when you talked about stopping the suspension side of it, and not many people will do that, but that's what should happen, because you never break that cycle of mentality or behaviors if you're just putting them out, because the same mentalities come back. The restorative side, we definitely need.
That's right.
Love to hear that.
That's right. And sometimes they come back a little bit tougher than when they left, because they're no longer afraid of the suspension. So why not make it a teachable moment?
That's right.
And so wherever we can, we really are honing in on that piece. When we've got them in school, let's keep them in school.
That's right.
Let's keep them in. So, those will be my big things. We'll continue to lift student voice, because our students have answers if we ask the questions. We ask the questions and we listen.
That's right.
They will tell us. We might not be ready to hear what they say, but they will tell us. And, we know we can't do it alone. We need our parents. I have to really get my parents involved. They're the first educators. They're the first educators. So in Buffalo, we've always had a pre-K program full day, but we have now drilled back to 3-year-olds. And so we have a 3Y program because we know, Buffalo is a city with high poverty. And so many of our children enter school already at a deficit with their vocabulary and name recognition. So, we've got to go back further. And so we have our 3-year-old babies, I call them,
So smart.
They learn socialization.
Yeah.
They're safe. We feed them. We have nurses.
Behavior,
We have
interactions.
counselors. That's right.
You know what? In so many districts that have the room to embrace, and people can say, you know, I don't have the money for 3-year-old programs. Well, you know what? There's always options for private-public partnerships.
That's right.
To bring them into the facility, get them in, and start that farm system. I think you're way ahead of it.
That's right.
3-year-old and 4-year-old programs are
Critical.
they are so important
For urban districts especially.
Yeah, completely. I mean, and for us in Hillsborough, we had to open the doors with 3-year-old programs.
Yeah.
Because I saw the social interaction wasn't there. How to deal with adults.
That's right.
How to deal with peers. How to
right.
deal with content.
That's
and
right.
I love the fact that you focus on this. This will be a game changer as you started this conversation with, you know what? We're going to focus on 3rd grade proficiency and getting students to that. That's going to allow that to happen.
That's right.
That's
Because
awesome.
it can't happen in 3rd grade. It's got to be, you know, the foundation is set when you're 3, when
That's
you're
right.
4.
That's right.
You know, it's just like college. It doesn't happen when you're a senior. College going thoughts begin at birth almost.
That's right.
You know, that you're
Yeah.
going to
It's a
college.
culture at home,
It's
right?
a culture at home.
That's
So,
right.
That's right.
Well, Doc, you are, you know, doing some really cool things. You know, as a semi-retired superintendent, being able to go around the nation.
You never
and help.
really retired,
I know,
do
right?
you? You know?
You know what? 35 years. I can't thank you enough for what you do every single day. You've been a champion for children. You are in Buffalo driving the work, but you're doing it with grace. You're doing it with care. You're doing it with sophistication. You're being surgical about it. So thank you for making safety a priority, academics a priority, and really no days off. I mean, for Tammy here getting down.
Oh, I've got a team. You met Tammy, but let me tell you something. I've got a team of folks, and they all have cards, and they've got cases to receive cards. So
that is so
we
awesome.
are here, and you know we're unapologetically recruiting the best and the brightest. I mean, Buffalo's a great place. You know, we've got great kids. We're a great place to work. We're family orientated. We learn together. You know, we have a good time, but I'm very serious about the accountability measures and making sure that every single day we are doing something that celebrates the brilliance of children. So.
You heard it. And before I leave, I got to say congratulations. Something special happened in your life in July.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
Congratulations on, you know, got married. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
We got married 7/7 at 7.
7/7 at 7.
7 p.m. Yes, we did.
And listen, I know the life of superintendency. Did you get a chance to go somewhere?
We did. We went to Hawaii.
Well,
I'd never been to
wow.
Hawaii. So it was amazing. It was amazing.
Don't tell my wife. She's listening. She's next to us over here. You know I got to go somewhere like that.
Got to go somewhere.
I should rewind that back.
Hawaii's a wonderful place to go. I'm just saying.
That's awesome. Well, congrats to you. I see the smile on your face, not only for the joy that you do to lead, but also to have someone special in your life to do great things every single day. Always have that balance, Doc. I appreciate you.
It's a very important thing for superintendents.
That's right.
Balance.
And
Gotta have balance.
I didn't do that well, and I'm trying to make up now.
Well, you know what? This is a second marriage for me, and so I figured, you know, this is an opportunity.
Absolutely.
For me to embrace that.
Absolutely.
So,
well, good for you, and I look forward to coming to see you. Look forward to coming. I'm going to come
please
check out this Bill Mafia
come
deal.
See it. Yeah, come on up. But you know, I know you're a Florida boy, so you don't want to come in December.
I got to buy a jacket, I guess.
You might get stuck. You might get stuck up there.
That's right. Well, until next time, you know, look forward to seeing you on Superintendents Unplugged, In Depth with Davis, here with the one and only Dr. Tonja Williams-Knight from Buffalo Public Schools, doing great things. Until next time, I look forward to seeing you in the classrooms. I'm Addison Davis.
All right. Peace.